This is Achraf Hakimi. He plays his club football for Paris Saint-Germain, has a trophy cabinet overflowing with European titles, and is widely considered one of the best right-backs in the world. But for most of football history, if you were a world-class player representing Morocco, your international career had a very predictable ceiling. Morocco made history in 1986, becoming the first African and Arab nation to ever reach the World Cup knockout rounds. But after 1998, the Atlas Lions vanished from the world stage, missing 4 consecutive World Cups and failing to qualify for multiple Africa Cup of Nations tournaments. For 20 years, Moroccan football wasn't just stuck, it was practically invisible. But look at them now.
Saibari! And history does repeat itself!
Following their history-making run to the semi-finals in the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, Morocco didn't fade away. Although their 2026 run just came to an end in the quarterfinals against France, making the final 8 once again proved that they belong in the sport's elite tier. So how did a country that couldn't even qualify for the tournament a decade ago suddenly become a global football powerhouse? It wasn't a fluke or just a lucky generation. It's the blueprint of a massive, highly calculated, multi-million-dollar state blueprint designed to rewrite the geopolitics of football. This is the story of how Morocco built a football empire from scratch. To understand how Morocco got here, we have to go back to 2008. The national team was in shambles. Local football stadiums were crumbling, and the Moroccan fans had all but lost faith. That's when King Mohammed VI decided football was no longer just a game, it was a matter of national strategy. He issued a public roadmap to overhaul the country's sports infrastructure. Football journalist Maher Mazahi has covered this shift closely. For a long time, North African football relied purely on raw talent. But raw talent doesn't survive without structure. Morocco realized that if they wanted to compete with Europe, they had to build a European-style ecosystem on African soil. To execute this vision, the country turned to Fouzi Lekja, who became president of the Royal Moroccan Football Federation. Lekja ran the federation like a tech startup, pouring money into facilities, governance, and talent identification. But a state-of-the-art strategy still needs elite players. And Morocco realized it had a unique weapon that European countries were completely ignoring: its diaspora. Millions of people of Moroccan descent live across Europe, heavily concentrated in football hotbeds like France, Spain, the Netherlands, and Belgium. For decades, European academies trained these kids, but when they grew up, they almost always chose to play for their European birth countries. Morocco decided to change that. The federation set up full-time scouting networks across Europe, in Madrid, Amsterdam, Brussels, and Paris, tracking dual-national kids as young as 12 years old. Professor Abdallah Al-Arayan, who studies football and identity in the Arab world, explains why this approach worked. It wasn't just about calling a player up when they became a star. Morocco started building emotional capital with these families early on. They made them feel like playing for Morocco wasn't a backup option. It was more of a homecoming. Look at the 2022 World Cup squad. 14 of the 26 players were born outside of Morocco. Superstars like Hakim Ziyech and Noussair Mazraoui came up through the Dutch academy system. Achraf Hakimi was born in Madrid. By systematically mapping out its global diaspora, Morocco essentially externalized its youth development to the best academies in the world, completely bypassing its domestic limitations. But relying only on foreign-born talent can create a cultural divide inside of a national team. To build a sustainable powerhouse, Morocco also needed a local pipeline. Which brings us to Saleh, just outside of the capital of Rabat. In 2009, the king funded the construction of the Mohammed VI Football Academy at a cost of roughly 13 million euros, a sprawling state-of-the-art facility with world-class pitches, sports science labs and full academic classrooms. The academy scouts the entire country, taking in boys mostly from low-income families and giving them elite training alongside a 100% high school graduation rate. The investment paid off spectacularly. Morocco's midfield engine Azzedine Ounahi is a graduate. So is former West Ham defender Nayef Aguerd and star striker Youssef En-Nesyri. The academy proved so dominant that in late 2025, Morocco's under-20 national team, packed with homegrown talent, stunned the world by beating Argentina to win the under-20s World Cup. Morocco had successfully fused the tactical discipline of its European-born diaspora players with the raw hunger and chemistry of its homegrown academy graduates. There was one final piece of the puzzle: coaching. For years, wealthy African and Arab federations spent millions on a revolving door of European managers who never quite understood the local culture. Morocco stopped doing that. They heavily invested in training their own local coaches instead. When Walid Regragui took over just months before the 2022 World Cup, he didn't just bring tactics. He brought an intense cultural unity, famously encouraging players to bring their mothers to the tournament. Even now, under current manager Mohamed Wabi, the entire federation, from the under-17s to the senior squad, operates under one cohesive footballing philosophy. What Morocco has built isn't just a golden generation, it's a factory. By combining aggressive global scouting with elite domestic infrastructure, they've shattered the old glass ceiling for African and Arab football. And with Morocco set to co-host the 2030 World Cup alongside Spain and Portugal, this empire is only getting bigger. The days of Morocco being a World Cup afterthought are officially over. They didn't just earn a seat at football's top table, they built their own.